Well, it is time now to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Joining me in the studio is Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst Olusegun Okwade and CEO CKN News, Chris Kehinde Nwandu. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank God it's Good Friday.
Thank God it's very good Friday.
Not just Friday, but
Good Friday.
Good morning to viewers.
Good morning. Yeah. All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with The Guardian. WHO, Africa CDC warn of COVID-19 surge as Christians mark Easter. Religious leaders anticipate large crowds at second pandemic Easter. Fare hike, fleet scarcity hit Easter air travelers. Don't let mischief mongers divide this country, Buhari tells Nigerians. Lawan Group admonish Nigerians to exhibit love, hope, tolerance. Police tighten security in states. To the Vanguard now, bandits hit Niger again, kill 6 soldiers, policeman, raid security base, abduct 15 villagers as residents flee en masse. 1 killed as gunmen attack ex-minister's residence in Plateau. To the Daily Sun now, phone users without NIN to spend 14 years in jail. Federal government rules out lifting ban on new SIM registration. Nigerians fault moves. To the Nation newspaper, strike paralyzes hospitals. Patients move out of hospitals in Ibadan, Kaduna, Jos, Ekiti. Resident doctors, no faith in MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding. Now to the News Direct, Nigerians without NIN risk 14-year jail term. Pantami as 51 million Nigerians enroll for NIN. To the Punch newspaper now, federal government threatens NARD, that's the Association of Resident Doctors, as doctors begin strike after agreement. If you don't agree, you don't sign an agreement, Ngige tells doctors. Federal government proposals not new resident doctors. Hospitals reject non-emergency cases. Resident doctors are foot soldiers. Strike will affect hospitals, says director. To the Daily Times, federal government blames governors for high cost of data. You find a story on the Daily Times. To the Business Day now, Buhari's preference for foreign hospitals overlooks world-class local options. Buhari's preference for foreign hospitals overlooks world-class local options. To the Blueprint now, 5 soldiers, civil defender, killed as bandits raise Niger military base. 5 soldiers, civil defender killed as bandits raise Niger military base. To the Daily Trust now, striking doctors to National Assembly. Ban government officials from medical tourism. Ban government officials from medical tourism. That's striking doctors, saying that's what they're saying there. All right, you would recall that they began their indefinite strike yesterday. All right, those are the papers this morning. But then we'll be looking at a story that was on the dailies yesterday, talking about the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, that's in person of Catriona Liang, saying that she is worried about the deteriorating situation of security in the country, and that the UK government was keen on helping Nigeria win its fight against insurgency and banditry, because for them, they say our insecurity as a nation becomes their insecurity if they don't help us. And Poland is also seeking to support Nigeria in the fight against insecurity. Let me begin with UCKN. What do you make of this? Although government has said that we do not need mercenaries, but people are coming out to say, see, we need to help you.
Because I'm close to them.
Somehow.
Thank you very much, my sister. There is no problem in any country agreeing to help us. You know, we have a security challenge that seems to be overwhelming us. This is not, but the problem I have with
seems to be overwhelming.
Seems to be, to me, that's what I want to say. That even though we know that it's overwhelming us. But the challenge I have is that this is not a conventional war. It's not the kind of war that other countries did that this is terrorism. What we are facing now is terrorism, not just the conventional. If it's a conventional war, Nigerian military have really excelled themselves wherever they go. Don't forget Nigerian military for the Civil War. The Nigerian military was in Congo Nigerian military was in Liberia during the Comog. Nigerian military have been contributing to international security by sending Nigerian troops, even the police, to international missions and rest of them. But this is not a conventional war where your opponent, you don't know where your opponent is.
But have we handled it as such?
That is where I'm going to.
Okay.
That is where I'm going to, yes. But the problem for me is that has he overwhelmed us? Have we done what we're supposed to do? How many are these so-called, there are sometimes that we call them ragtag bandits, and that is what I call them. How many are they? We have all it takes, the resources, the human and material resources to be able to nip this in the bud. But it seems that we don't have the political will to do it. And lesser countries like Chad have been doing a lot along this line. You can see, yes, you will see pockets of strikes in Chad once in a while, or even in Niger once in a while, but not at the level at which Nigeria has been. We are getting, if you understand what I'm, and these are smaller countries. So what is it that Chad is doing that we are not doing? What is it that Niger is doing that we are not doing? And that is where the problem is with. And even we have gone a bit further to have a multinational force, if you remember. We have a multinational force on ground that comprises Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and I think Cameroon, and some other countries surrounding us. And I think I will be able to wrap this up. But our body language doesn't seem to. It's because we are not doing what we are supposed to do. And we are also fueling it. The activities, yes, the activities and body language of some of our leaders. Look at the governors. Instead of tackling insecurity headlong, some of the governors are aligning with the bandits, calling the bandits, asking them to come and let us say to.
Because these are unverified statements. What
do you mean by unverified? Have you seen them saying that they should come and surrender their weapons? They bring them to state houses and display this thing. Some have said that we should give them amnesty. Some governors have been saying that. So when you do that, you are fueling the rebel.
Trying to find solution in their own
country. Let me tell you, no country goes into negotiation with bandits and terrorists. Once you start doing that, you are opening your flanks. Look at what happened what has been happening in Zamfara. The day you start negotiating, that is when they even strike and pick more girls. They go to Niger, they pick more girls, pick more students and the rest of them. But that does not necessarily mean, even if you are going to negotiate, you negotiate from the point of strength and not to be seen as a weakling. And that is what the problem is. Now it has escalated. Just a few days ago, they've gone as far as Ebonyi State and killed close to 25 people. And it is spreading. So when Britain, Poland, or whatever said that, what are they going to put soldiers on ground for us? The best they can do is to give us the logistics to be able to work with, or give us the intelligence and network to work with. But they will not put, and America will not bring the soldiers to come and be fighting for you. No, it's not possible. They don't do that again. In fact, they are withdrawing most of their soldiers from across, even Afghanistan. That's what is happening now. That's what Biden has been doing. That is what Trump was doing. So, but our leaders should be able to look at this as a war, and not just a little battle that we just have. So, we've gotten new service chiefs. What have they done? Yeah, the time is short, but what have done within the period that they come around? So, those are the challenges I have. Anybody can bring. We are even losing some of our weapons. Yeah. We just lost an Alpha jet just a few days ago. Don't forget one crash. Yeah. Just also, those are the issues. Those are the things that we use. How come we are losing even the machineries we are supposed to use to fight this?
Let's get Olusheson's perspective to this. Do you think that we need help at this point?
I've always been saying it, and I still stand by my word. I don't see what UK wants to come and do for us, or Poland. If the internal arrangement is faulty, just like what CKN said, the political will on the part of our government is what is very key here. How are we treating and handling the bandits? We have heard situations where leaders will come out to tell us that the bandits are doing this, they are not criminal. The bandits are free to carry AK-47 to defend themselves because of the cow. So they see the life of a cow more important than that of human being. So you discover that our leaders themselves are not so keen about having the safety of the country. So if UK come, they are just going to mess them up.
So
if they have been doing very well
if you're not keen on the safety of the country, how do you govern? How do you deliver on the dividends of democracy?
This is my personal view. I feel our leaders take pleasure in the war that is currently going on. Because if your house is not at peace, definitely it is not the path that they are towing that they will expect them to go.
All right.
You cannot continue to say you'll be pardoning or granting amnesty or saying they are not criminals.
All right.
People that are sacrificing the life of innocent people. It shouldn't be.
All right, we need to quickly go on a short break. When we return, the conversation continues. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. It's still the newspaper review, and we have been looking at the UK saying that it is willing to support Nigeria in its fight against insecurity. And I was speaking with Sheson Kwade before we went on the break. The UK government, Sheson, has been helping the military in the area of training, campaign planning, and how to counter IEDs. So what more support can we be getting from them if they are saying that our insecurity is also theirs and they are willing to support us?
Yeah, I want to appreciate UK. They are good brothers who have the concern and care about our national and our citizen. But I want to say that UK, they can only provide the training, possibly
the intelligence needed. But the political will on the part of our government is very key, in the sense that what is our commitment to it? What is our approach to some of these things? We've seen our leaders saying that the bandits are not criminal. And day by day, you wake up. In the last 6 months, there is no day I wake up I don't hear about bandits killing 3, 4, 5. Every day you must see it as at Eda. If it's not in Zamfara, it will be in Niger, it will be in Kaduna and everywhere. So what is the position of the leaders? We've seen situations where leaders are saying they are granting them amnesty and they bring them in. And as soon as that is done, you discover that there will be an eat either to pick the children. So I feel if we take the bull by the horn to know that these bandits are criminal and they must face possibly firing squad. They have killed our people, innocent people for that matter. And not just that alone, economically. They have killed us because there is insecurity in the land. People are dying economically. The purchasing power, people that are supposed to provide food, possibly from the northern region to the south, are not doing that. And people are dying. I listened to part of your briefing this morning via Sarah, where people are saying the price of commodities are high because the people that are supposed to produce it in the north are not going
Can go to their
farm. So it's not just killing physically. Economically, people are dying day by day until the government take the bull by the horn that these people are criminal and they must face the consequence. There is nothing an external force is going to do to us that to provide maybe the intelligence gathering, and when they provide it, are we going to follow through to make sure that we nipped it by the bud?
Which is very, very key.
Yes, it is, because it's not just providing. Part of the problem we've also had is that international countries across the globe don't seem to trust our security agencies. Because whatever information is passed is always filtered down to even the terrorists and the bandits. And that in itself is a very dangerous trend. Once, even the military itself came out to say that, even within its rank, that they're having some people, more and the rest of them. So that in itself, so the level of intelligence reports that will be passed to you also depends on the person passing you that information, that whatever is passing to you is going to, you are going to use it and not be able to find its way. Even within the local community that we have, even in our, we see instances where people give policemen information about some people.
And there's reprisal.
You have seen that. So those are the challenges we are having. But I still believe that this is not over and above us.
Right.
It's something we can be able to handle. Our military excel when they go out. So we've seen them do this job. What we need is to give them the necessary. Just yesterday, 5 soldiers were killed in Niger State.
Yes.
That is terrible. So we are even losing men. There are so many that were unreported. In the southeast, soldiers are being killed. In the north central, soldiers are being killed. So all over. So what I still believe is that until our leaders, as Sheson rightly says, shows the will and make sure that most of those that are, let me even ask you, how many of the bandits that have been arrested have been prosecuted?
Right.
None.
Those are the issues. Because when you don't do that, you give them the gun. You give them the gun to be able to operate. That is just unquote. Because if you don't bring people to account for their sins, the tendency for them to continue. If we have seen a situation where most of these people, those that have been arrested, we get them tried as quickly. In fact, I will advocate that we have a special tribunal for that, not the normal court.
Right.
But CKN, they are not even trying them. Rather, they are granting amnesty.
That is what I'm saying.
So welcome them, give them vehicles.
Prosecute them, then you see people do it until we make sure that people pay for their sins.
Justice.
Then there is justice. Then we cannot get anywhere. That is just the fact.
All right. Quickly, I want us to touch on, move on quickly to this story, talking about the resident doctor strike. And if you look at the Punch newspaper this morning, the federal government is threatening the association after that they are beginning strike after an agreement. And the minister, Chris Ngige, is saying that if you don't agree, you don't sign an agreement. If they knew they were not going to agree, why sign the agreement?
Yeah, because let me tell you, the minister can threaten as much as he wants.
Yes.
There have been several agreements that have been signed in the past where the government don't fulfill their part of it.
All right.
What of the one with ASU? Have they fulfilled it? So
the doctors now are now reneging on that.
Good enough. You are saying that. So because the government, because we don't trust government, that is also the trust issue we are talking about. Even the secretary and the rest of them. Let me give you a practical example. I was watching one of the channels, one of the TV stations yesterday, where part of the grievances of NARD is that Abia State University Teaching Hospital, the doctors have not been paid for 20 months.
20?
Yes.
Yeah, we've had instances.
The secretary of that branch of the association, NARD, in Absut, Abia State University, said they have not been paid for 20 months.
Why wait? Now, the question for some Nigerians is, why wait till it gets to this level?
Is it not the same thing that people are saying that, oh, by the time you go on strike, people will die, this will do? Most often than don't forget that there is a code of ethics for every profession.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's a code of ethics. So most often than not, some of the things we tolerate here, people won't do it outside. There's a code of ethics. As a doctor, most often than not, there's human angle to whatever you do. You can't see somebody, even that owe you salary, you can't see them bringing in somebody that's almost dying. You say because they are owing you salary, you will not treat the person. So those are the kind of issues that until our government also come to realize that these are frontline workers. I always take them as frontline, just like you and I. Most often than they look at the president. NARD issued a strike action a day before the president jetted out to UK. For what? Medical tourism. To go and check for medical checkup. That makes sense. For me, some people will argue, what has that got to do with president? The box stop on his table. If your medical doctors are going on, so why are you going to UK for medical attention? If you have put what is necessary, what the necessary
as it is said, he has always done that before he even came into office.
That is before he became
he came in.
Before he is now the president. I don't care what he did before. Now he's not accountable to us. The president is accountable to us now. So those of us that cannot afford to go to London, what will happen now that the doctors have gone on strike? What do? We should be left to die, Abi. Let's not talk.
You see, each day we look at it in this country, you feel so bitter about it. The minister can threaten. We've seen a lot of that. I keep asking the question, how many of the lawmakers are we owing? How many of the executive himself, do we owe them? There are provisions for their salary, but for the people that are doing the work, you owe them salary. How many of the governors and their aides are being owed? None.
Even the minister's aides. Even the minister is being owed.
They have more than enough to travel out, go for medical checkup, even without announcing. We are only hearing that of the president. So many of them did not even take the vaccine here locally.
Yes.
They took it off there.
Yes. They went
so why we use it? They can threaten and threaten. The fact remains that our leaders does not have the political will to drive this country on. I've seen people argue that the president can go to UK. That's where he's been doing it before. But that means the change they promise us is not what they are given. Because the change should start with the president. The change is that before you became the president of the country, you saw the problem that there is no medical facility. That's why you're going to UK. And you promise us the change. And you say the change starts with you. So if the change must start with you, then definitely you must have your local or medical checkup locally. locally.
Part of the campaign was even that they were going to stop
medical tourism.
Medical
Remember
tourism,
that?
yeah.
That was part of the campaign.
So
we are not fools in this. It's just how many years? Just 5 years down.
Yes, no.
Part of the campaign that they are going to stop medical tourism. And the president is going on medical tourism.
A recent report showed that medical tourism is costing us
so
over
much,
500
so much
billion naira.
money that is money we can pump into this country and set up a very, very viable. He's just talking of. Do you know how many of them go to India?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's another
unannounced.
In Dubai,
Yeah.
those are the 3 points: UK, Dubai
and
India. If you know how much we spend, these are the money where we can use to be able to. Now we are talking about foreign exchange. We are not having this thing. The oil and the rest of them.
Pressure on the foreign
if we
exchange.
make our hospital international standard, people from other neighboring countries will be coming here. Ghana.
It used to be
like that.
before.
Remember that? It used to be like that.
Yeah,
people used to come to loot.
Yeah.
This loot from Ghana, from Togo, from Benin, even from South Africa, to loot. That is there. My dad told me.
Yeah.
But what do we have now?
So, Vero, the story is still that the leaders does not have the political will to do what is expected. Yeah. So, it's like, do what I say, don't do what I do. So, if the president can go, it's a pity. Me, I can't travel for medical checkup. I'm still begging God. I've been hoping to God, say, God, I should not fall sick at this point in time.
Pandemic.
Even at that, let me even go, as we round up. The First Lady raised a point some years back about the Aso Rock Clinic.
She said
and
there
so
was
much money that
drugs.
was pumped into that. Have we invested? Since between then and now, what has been done to Aso Rock?
Ensuring accountability.
No investigation, no accountability.
It's a good point. I don't think we should just be going. We should just
we should look for a way to just calm down and be hopeful to God.
Mommy, calm down.
Let's be hopeful.
This
we
is
can
only
be hopeful.
I hope the hope will not finish us one day.
No, let's just be hopeful, gentlemen.
But
thank you very much.
Our leaders do what
I'm sure they are listening and they will do what they need to do. But we have to go.
Yeah, we have to go.
That's the issue.
Yeah, we have to go. But let's not leave it to God.
Thank you
as we used to say.
very much. CKN News. Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your anniversary.
Thank
20
you very
years.
Much. It's no easy.
Quite interesting.
No be moi.
At all.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.